Few stories in the world of espionage are as shocking and damaging as that of the spy who betrayed their country for money, compromising national security and endangering countless lives.
Espionage has always been a shadowy game of deception, but some betrayals are so staggering that they shake entire intelligence agencies to their core.
One such case is that of Aldrich Ames, a man whose greed led to one of the most devastating breaches in US intelligence history.
Ames wasn't just another spy, he was a high-ranking CIA officer who methodically and ruthlessly sold state secrets to the Soviet Union for millions of dollars, causing irreparable damage to American intelligence operations and leading to the deaths of numerous informants.
His story is one of ambition, arrogance, and ultimately downfall.
A trusted insider-turned-traitor, Aldrich Hazen Ames joined the Central Intelligence Agency (CIA) in 1962, beginning what seemed to be a promising career in intelligence. He was an operations officer responsible for handling Soviet assets and extracting sensitive information that could be used against America's Cold War adversary. Over time, he climbed the ranks within the agency, gaining access to some of the most classified intelligence the United States possessed. But beneath his professional facade, Ames harbored deep financial troubles. His extravagant lifestyle, lavish homes, luxury cars, and an appetite for high-end fashion far exceeded his government salary.
Struggling with debt and desperate for more money, Ames made a fateful decision that would change history. In 1985, he approached the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C., offering to sell classified information in exchange for cash.
What followed was nearly a decade of devastating espionage against the very agency that had entrusted him with its most valuable secrets. The million-dollar betrayal of the KGB, the Soviet intelligence agency, immediately recognized Ames's value. Unlike lower-level spies who passed along tidbits of intelligence, Ames had direct access to top-secret files, including the identities of covert operatives working for the US in the Soviet Union. In exchange for his betrayal, Ames received over $4.6 million, an astronomical sum at the time and one of the largest payouts ever given to a spy. The consequences of his treachery were catastrophic. Almost immediately, American intelligence operatives in the Soviet Union began disappearing.
Within months, at least 10 highly valuable CIA informants were arrested and executed, while several others were imprisoned for life.
The CIA, baffled by the sudden collapse of its intelligence network, launched extensive investigations, but could not initially determine how their assets were being exposed. Ames's espionage continued for nearly 9 years, during which he maintained a double life, appearing to be a dedicated CIA officer by day while feeding top-secret intelligence to the KGB by night.
He even took additional measures to avoid suspicion, deliberately failing polygraph tests while blaming his stress levels, and frequently misdirecting internal investigations toward other possible sources of the leaks. A lavish lifestyle raises red flags for years. Ames was able to live comfortably off his illicit income, but his sudden and dramatic lifestyle changes eventually drew attention. Despite earning a government salary of $60,000 per year, he and his wife were living like multimillionaires, purchasing a $540,000 home in cash, driving luxury cars, and taking extravagant vacations.
His reckless spending was so blatant that colleagues at the CIA began whispering about the source of his wealth.
By the early 1990s, as the Cold War was coming to an end, suspicions around Ames grew.
The damage he had inflicted on US intelligence was undeniable, and the CIA launched an internal mole hunt to uncover the traitor responsible.
After years of investigation and failed attempts to locate the source of the leaks, the focus finally shifted to Ames. The FBI initiated Operation Nightmover, an extensive surveillance campaign that monitored Ames's movements, phone calls, and financial transactions.
Agents discovered evidence of unexplained wealth, frequent meetings with suspected Soviet contacts, and cash deposits far beyond his government salary. The arrest and the aftermath on February 21, 1994. Ames and his wife, Rosaria, were arrested outside their home in Arlington, Virginia.
The evidence against him was overwhelming: hidden stashes of cash, records of his Soviet connections, and damning testimonies. Faced with the undeniable proof of his treachery, Ames confessed to his crimes, admitting that his primary motivation was money rather than ideological loyalty to the Soviet Union. His betrayal, however, had already cost countless lives and irreparable damage the trust between the CIA and its informants.
Ames was convicted of espionage and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
His wife, who had helped launder the money, received a 5-year sentence in exchange for cooperating with authorities.
The Ames case sent shockwaves through the intelligence community, leading to major reforms in security protocols, financial monitoring, and internal investigations within the CIA and FBI. The legacy of atrocious damage done by Ames was unparalleled.
His betrayal led to the exposure and deaths of at least 10 US informants, the dismantling of crucial intelligence networks, and a devastating loss of trust within the CIA. His actions forced intelligence agencies to rethink how they handled classified information and how they monitored their own officers for potential security risks. The case of Aldrich Ames serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and the devastating impact of betrayal. Unlike spies who defect for ideological reasons, Ames sold secrets purely for personal financial gain, making his treachery even more egregious. His actions remind us that even the most trusted individuals can be compromised and that safeguarding national security requires constant vigilance.
Today, Ames remains in a high-security federal prison, serving a life sentence for one of the most damaging espionage cases in American history.
His name is now synonymous with betrayal, a stark reminder of the catastrophic consequences when personal greed triumphs over loyalty and duty.
The spy who sold state secrets for millions left a dark stain on the intelligence world, one that will never be forgotten.